start the fight, breaking down the walls in the dead of night. I don't come for peace, I come for the storm. Fanboys melt quick when the truth gets warm. Saw content's high, I'm collecting those tears. Just got started, but I'm cutting through fears. I'm not here for brand deals, I'm not for sale. I expose your lies, rip off the veil.
One of the interesting things that's propped up in the gaming community is this idea that GTA is a successful video game franchise.
It is, Harmon. It is very successful. Would you like to know why? The whole franchise has sold over 435 million copies, Harmon. That is a very big success.
It is the biggest franchise in gaming. It is the greatest of all time. And of course, none of that is true. There are like several titles that do better than Grand Theft Auto. It is not.
I have never heard anybody ever say that it was the best, like greatest franchise or best-selling franchise of all time. I'm pretty certain that everybody knows that that would be the Mario franchise. But they're one of the original franchises of all time anyways. I know there were other ones before that, but you know what I mean. But Grand Theft Auto 5 alone has outsold any Mario game out there or any Nintendo IP. No Nintendo IP has ever came close to selling as much as Grand Theft Auto 5 has, Harmon.
A big name in gaming. I do think that people have to realize that like Grand Theft Auto is a generic term that refers to hijacking of a vehicle.
Oh, really, Harmon? We didn't know that. Well, get to your point already. I ain't got all damn day.
Right? Grand Theft Auto is not an IP, it is a crime. And I think that like really...
Harmon, you are a crime against the gaming community. Who cares that Grand Theft Auto, there's a legal term for it. Grand Theft Auto is still an IP, and the Grand Theft Auto 5 has still outsold any of your precious Nintendo games.
Really describes the problem with Grand Theft Auto as a concept is that it's not really a gaming brand. You know, just like how Call of Duty isn't a gaming brand or Madden isn't a gaming brand, you know, Grand Theft Auto's primary appeal is that it is...
Those are all gaming brands. You are an idiot.
Based on a real world concept of committing real crimes. That's kind of...
Okay, and the whole Mario concept is built upon the big bad boss always kidnapping and stealing the princess, which is a crime also, Harmon. So with your logic, that means Mario isn't an IP.
It's not really a video game IP. It is the fantasy of committing crimes.
Yes, just like Mario, it is the fantasy of kidnapping a princess. Now, I honestly am trying to joke around here. Well, not really. I'm just trying to show how idiotic his logic is here. I think Mario is a great IP, and I think Grand Theft Auto is also a great IP. He's just a simpleton, and I'm trying to show it. Well, I don't really have to do it. He does it for me.
That's essentially just like how Madden is a sports game. You know how the sports games are only successful because of their real life counterparts.
Yes, Harmon. Same thing with WWE. People want to play as their favorite wrestler or as their favorite sports performer. Do you not understand that?
Grand Theft Auto is only successful because of just how crime-ridden and degenerate our culture actually is.
And Mario Kart World is only successful because there's not really any other game to play. Well, when it released, there wasn't.
You know, Grand Theft Auto is not so much a video game IP as it is an endorsement of gang culture and just...
Harmon, why do you constantly have to get into this whole political shit? You are not that guy. You do not have the channel for it. People want to come to your videos to find out about some gaming stuff. They don't want to hear political shit. Leave it out.
Certain demographics in America. Like Grand Theft Auto is...
And what are those demographics, Harmon? You said it before. Why are you all quiet about it now? I don't think you should be speaking about this period. You're not qualified to even speak on the subject, but you continually keep bringing it up. So what demographics are you talking about? I'll give you a hint. It ends in matters.
Absolutely not capable of standing on its own merits as a video game franchise.
That's why it's one of the highest selling franchises of all time and has been around for how long compared to Mario?
And this is a concept I've been emphasizing a lot in recent years, but I do think that, like, think about this for a second. Like, how many characters in Grand Theft Auto are iconic? You know, how many, like, people, like...
Harmon, you got Tommy, Nico, Michael DeSanta, Trevor Phillips, Franklin Clinton. You also got CJ. There are many iconic characters. What are you going on about?
Look back on, like, sequences or story events or missions in Grand Theft Auto and actually, like, remember any of them fondly at all, you know? Like, how many people do you see who, like, remember, like, oh man, like, getting the plane license in Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, that was so difficult, but when you could finally do it...
Harmon, you will put some respect on San Andreas' name. CJ was awesome.
Oh yeah, nice crime simulator, by the way, that it forces you to get a license before you can steal planes. But anyway,
Jesus Christ, Harmon, it's more than a crime simulator.
the narrative was always that, like, Grand Theft Auto, nothing about the actual brand identity really is popular. Like, nobody actually...
Harmon, do you understand how many people are playing Grand Theft Auto 5 right now? You are literally talking out of your ass. You have no idea what you're talking about.
Cares about what actually happens in the game. Nobody actually cares about what happens with the characters.
Many people love CJ, Nico, and the ones from Grand Theft Auto 5.
Nobody actually cares about, like, I don't know, like, fan theories or lore, or just, like, you know, like, hyper analyzing the economic situations of, like, I don't know, Liberty City or whatever. Like, you know,
Harmon, it doesn't matter. The game wouldn't have sold over 200 million copies worldwide if it wasn't fun. None of your Nintendo games have ever even come close to that amount.
nobody actually, like, you know, really stops and thinks about, like, what Grand Theft Auto actually is. And in fact, a lot of Grand Theft Auto's themes...
Harmon, you don't even stop and think before you press record.
Especially this idea that, like, ooh, there's something hollow about America. Ooh, made by British developers, by the way.
Harmon, you do understand, just because the developers aren't in Japan doesn't mean they're bad developers. You do understand that the reason why Donkey Kong is where it's at is because of Western developers. And same thing with the Metro Prime series.
Yeah, a lot of that stuff, like, just doesn't really resonate with the audience at all.
Selling over 200 million copies worldwide says otherwise.
Like, Grand Theft Auto's primary appeal is just stealing cars and killing people.
And you kill people in Mario games, for crying out loud. Or animals, but you kill things in Mario games. Killing things is nothing new.
You know, and running from the cops. You know, that's it. You know, Grand Theft Auto's, like, is, like, one of the most basic, child-friendly...
Okay, I'm not the type of person to tell someone how to raise their children, but I do not think parents should be letting them kids play Grand Theft Auto. This game is not for children. There is not an E for everyone stamped on there like there is for Nintendo games, Harmon. So if someone sits here and says, oh, this game is for children and it's Grand Theft Auto, I would never advise you to take parenting advice from that person.
Child, like, enabling, just, like, childish, like, fantasies ever, right? Like, the idea of committing crimes.
Harmon, again, in no way is Grand Theft Auto a children's game. You want to know what is? DK Bonanza. I know there are so many Nintendo YouTubers that get so angry when you sit here and say Nintendo games are for children. I played and beat DK Bonanza. That game was so ridiculously easy, it wasn't even funny. I could not believe it. The thing was, they dropped the ball when they added the whole skill tree mechanic thing into that game, because there's almost no reason to even use it. You just collect the main gems from the story, and that's all you do, and add it to your health.
And then violently resisting arrest. It is immature. It's basic. It has nothing going for it. It's not special, interesting, fun, engaging. It doesn't even really make any sense, because, like, why?
I think you might be confusing that with Mario Kart World, one of the most overpriced mid games of all time.
Grand Theft Auto is just a really shining example as to how that necessarily have some kind of like hold over like certain segments of the population that people are obsessed with.
Harmon, it is a fun game. You need to understand that.
Like aren't necessarily good for you or like worthy of attention or any kind of praise, because
It deserves more attention and praise than Mario and Luigi Brothership or Princess Peach Showtime.
Grand Theft Auto's primary appeal is being controversial, being edgy, and being like enabling criminals. It is essentially the South Park of video games in that regard.
Harmon, South Park is amazing. Now, I understand this. I understand why he actually thinks like this. I really do. Now, I don't know exactly how old he is, but I know he's around my age somewhere. And he has said in his live streams that he was never allowed to play Sony and Xbox. He was only ever allowed to play Nintendo. And when the Wii came around, that was actually his least favorite console. So he even said he branched out and started playing Sony and Xbox, because I'm assuming he must have became an adult at that point. So he never grew up with some of the greats for the PlayStation. He didn't grow up playing the PS1 or the PS2, which, by the way, is the greatest selling console of all time, Harmon. It has sold 160 million units worldwide. No Nintendo console has reached that except it. So he went into the PS3. Now, the PS3 still had some phenomenal games, but unfortunately, in the beginning and early on the PS3, it was not doing very well. So I think he went into it on that part and then was like, nope, I'm just going to the Xbox. And then he stuck with the Xbox. PS4, even though it has some good games, it definitely left back way too many of its great IPs from the past. Sony, you really need to bring up some of those IPs.
And much like South Park, as it becomes overly political, as it becomes overly preachy, as it goes against the core values of what makes the games appealing to people.
The thing about South Park is it makes fun of the political stuff. And even with Grand Theft Auto, it may get a little political, but it's a nice little FU to the political establishment. Harmon, I'm really trying not to get political, Harmon. You are the one that keeps doing this, and you are not that guy. No one wants to watch you get political. Do what people want, or do what people want to watch you for. People want to see you freak out over Nintendo. People want to see you bash Sony or bash Xbox. That's why we come and watch you and farm for you, not for this political crap.
You are going to see a lot of pushback against the franchise and against the games. And
Harmon, the franchise has sold over 450 million units worldwide. If there was going to be pushback about it, it would have been already.
I think like when a viable Grand Theft Auto competitor like steps up to the plate and actually manages to like surpass like what Grand Theft Auto accomplished, you're gonna see like a very quick like drop off.
The last person to try to do that, from what I can remember, was Saints Row. And then with the last one, they failed miserably. And then when they tried to reboot it, they failed even worse.
In like relevancy from Grand Theft Auto, because like fundamentally the brand has no identity outside of committing crimes.
The Mario has no identity because outside of always kidnapping Princess Peach, you would have no reason to play the game.
Like Grand Theft Auto has nothing going for it that other games like Yakuza or Saints Row don't do a whole lot better.
I'm pretty certain in Saints Row and Yakuza you can also commit crimes. Just saying.
Like the difference in quality between something like Mario compared to other platformers, right? Mario always innovates. Mario's always grown and evolved. Mario's always does new things in each game. Like
Harmon, there's a reason why there's a widespread narrative about the Mario games that they're pretty much the same game all the damn time. They might add a new mechanic here and there, but it's not like it's completely different here.
Like Grand Theft Auto has never developed the same way.
Harmon, Grand Theft Auto 5 has sold more than any single one. We won't even go with all Nintendo IPs. Any single Mario type IP out there.
The game is the same as it's always been, since Grand Theft Auto 1. Like, you're in a city, you're killing people, and you're running away from cops.
And when it comes to Mario, in every single game, it's always the same. You play Mario, you go through the Mushroom Kingdom to rescue the princess because for some reason they have yet to sit here and figure out what guards are. And in every game, you see the castle is not being defended. There's nothing there to protect the princess. And guess what? It's like that in every single game, Harmon.
And that's just something that, like, you know, amuses people on like a basic level. But
Harmon, Grand Theft Auto is way more difficult, way more advanced than any of your Mario games. Now, granted, I loved Mario Odyssey. There are a lot of great Mario games, but I'm not going to pretend like Mario is a very difficult game to play.
it is, it's kind of the video game equivalent of, like, I don't know, playing with Legos or like eating that play putty stuff, you know, like Play-Doh. You know, it's like
No, it's like playing a Mario game. It's okay. You can say it, Harmon.
it's like you know, like I make this comparison a lot. It's like in A Clockwork Orange when Alex just, you know, is endlessly amused by committing violent crimes until he's just not.
Okay, I had to look that up. I thought it was a video game, but no, it's a movie back from the 1970s. Never seen it.
You know, until he just grows up. That's basically what Grand Theft Auto is. There's nothing fun, interesting, exciting.
Maybe you should play the game before you speak about it, or at least play more than 1 hour.
About running around a city and killing people, right? It's lame. You know, it's boring. It only appeals to little children.
Harmon, again, this game is not for children. Would you like to know what is? Any Mario game.
You know, this is a children's video game franchise. I know that's very difficult for people to wrap their minds around, considering, like, you know, the adult theming, but like,
No, Harmon, that's why it has a rating for M for mature. But what does Mario have? E for everyone.
just have a look at the audience. You know, just look at like the people who are like hyping this game up and think it's gonna be like some groundbreaking masterpiece. You know,
Look at the audience that are hyping up Mario Kart World. It's a bunch of overgrown man children like you who keep sitting here acting like this is the greatest thing to ever come from Nintendo.
all these people are like 8 years old. You know, like there is no real like.
No 8-year-old should be playing this game, Harmon. And the majority of people, I don't have no proof to sit here and say this, but I'm going to use a little bit of common sense and some logic. Most people are not 8 years old playing Grand Theft Auto, nor should they be.
Genuine enthusiasm for Grand Theft Auto 6. It's just this obsession with committing crimes condensed into a video game.
Okay, and the obsession over playing Mario games is so people can play in a simp simulator. How about that, Harmon?
People start getting bored of Grand Theft Auto and start pointing out how like the series doesn't really grow or evolve and how it doesn't really have an identity.
That's just like with Mario. It's literally the same story over and over and over again. You know, I guarantee you, when they finally reveal Mario Kart or a new 3D Mario game, guess what? Nobody in their right mind is going to be thinking, oh, I wonder what the story's going to be. Everybody knows what story Mario's going to be. It's literally going to be, whether it's Princess Peach or maybe a different princess, you never know. Maybe they decide to use I don't know, pick any damn princess from the Mario place, but they may use a different one. But I guarantee you, it's going to be Bowser or some type of big bad person is going to kidnap the princess, and you're going to have to fight through the Mushroom Kingdom or whatever other worlds you go through to rescue the princess. Does anybody watching this video think that the story is going to be any different than that? Please let me know down in the comments. I beg of you.
You know, like I am definitely very excited to see more people realize that Grand Theft Auto cannot hold a candle to Nintendo IPs.
And that's why Grand Theft Auto 5 has outsold any single Nintendo IP out there. There is not a single Nintendo game that has even came half of what Grand Theft Auto 5 has sold. Oh, I am so glad that this is over. I'm so glad this reaction's over. This video is going to be over 20 minutes long, so here you go. I'm glad. I hope you guys are happy. Let's get into the members now. All right, we got Koros Objective, Maximilian Pegasus 88, Madfox 94, Shade Milkman, Oh No It's Justin, Brian Payne, J Wesby 65, Andy Ritz, C Stars Piplup, Cam, Astrius Lane, and Maxim Musel 2400. Thank you so much for becoming part of the crew. And if you truly enjoy this content, why don't you think about becoming a member? It's only $1 a month. You get special emotes, badges, and you get a shout out at the end of each video until it becomes too long, and then it'll be turned into a credit roll. And also, I got an awesome merch lined up for you guys. I got amazing shirts, hoodies, I got coffee mugs, I got desk mats, I got a bunch of different kinds, so why don't you check it out also. And please like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, guys, stay vigilant.
You can cry in the comments, but you won't survive. Like and subscribe if you feel that vibe. We're hustling.